6:30, I am going to call this regularly scheduled board meeting dated Monday, November 10th to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we've got a full house this evening. Thank you all for being here. We have a lot to celebrate this evening, so it's nice to see everyone. We are going to start the evening off with our Accentuate the Positive, and we are starting with Mr. Bowles and Mr. Zuniga with the 2024-2025 Red Wagon celebration.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Say that.
Yeah.
What?
Say that 10 times.
His name?
No, the red wagon.
Okay. In the letter? Do you say it a lot in the letter? Okay. Well, anyway, I'm really proud to be here. And I've been up here quite often, 13 to 15 years in a row. I think we've been a district, which you're probably going to talk more about. I don't steal Jason's thunder, but this is Jason from Riley. And I would like for our principals to come forward if they could. And Jason's going to have a presentation, a few things to say to everybody.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Jason. I'm a youth philanthropy program coordinator at Riley Children's Foundation. And so in my role, I work with K-12 programs fundraise for the hospital. It's really exciting because Palestine Head School Corporation is one of 12 corporations in the entire state that earned Red Wagon corporate sponsorship level. And so we have this little frame certificate to acknowledge that. But because of this, because each school that participated in the corporation earned $1 per student that's enrolled for each of the schools, they each earn Red Wagon status. And so we have certificates for each of those programs. But it's really special to know that from the beginning of a student being involved in school, they're hearing about philanthropy all the way up to the high school level. And then even beyond that, they're some of the best leaders in the workforce and making impact on their community there on forth. So we have Brady Wine Elementary. You have Palestine Elementary. Palestine Intermediate. Palestine Junior High School. And then Palestine High School. And then sure.
You want to get the superintendent to come up and grab the frame going. She's lucky. She gets the whole frame.
That's great. And so you can do
Jason.
whatever you would like.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right, well done to you and all your schools. And thank you, Mr. Zuniga, for being here this evening. Can we grab a picture? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should come. Let's do Come on, wonderful people.
You guys decided not to have the letter.
Okay, you, I won't, I'm going to hold you guys down.
Jason, I want
Since I didn't have a letter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
Oh,
Yes,
Come on in here.
Yep, I want this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thanks.
Bowles,
He's out.
Mr. Bowles, stay on up here. Next, we're going to have Mr. Bowles and Miss Sarah House, and they're going to be presenting on the Lilly Scholarship finalists.
Well, Sarah, come forward. Isabel and Heidi, can you guys come forward?
I promised Heidi I was going to have her in and out here in 15 minutes. She's got someplace else to be.
I'm not gonna. I won't ramble. Let's go ahead. Do you want us to sit? We can go ahead and sit. You want to sit? Yep. Sarah, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, so well, thank you so much for allowing me to be here today on behalf of the Community Foundation of Hancock County. My name is Sarah House, I'm the education officer. And we are thrilled to be here to honor Heidi and Isabel on the accomplishment of being a 2026 Lilly Endowment Community Scholarship finalist. The Community Foundation of Hancock County provides philanthropic leadership by encouraging giving, learning, community pride, and civic engagement in Hancock County. Our organization accomplishes this by serving as a vehicle for people of all means to make lasting difference for charitable causes. We grant over $1.5 million per year to equip nonprofits to pursue their missions, support educational attainment beginning at birth, and catalyze efforts that enrich and enhance our community's quality of life. We are thrilled to count the administration of the Lilly Endowment Community Scholarship a part of that rich heritage. And each year we apply for the opportunity to recommend 2 graduating students to Lilly Endowment for a full 4-year tuition scholarship award. And should that application be accepted, we then implement and supervise the process. Eligible applicants in Hancock County must be ranked in the top 15% of their graduating class cohort and plan to pursue a bachelor's degree to be completed in 4 years at any accredited Indiana public or private college university. Student applications are submitted online and reviewed blindly by third-party professional readers represented by experienced out-of-county Community Foundation personnel or educational professionals. The third-party reviewers select 8 finalists, 2 from each Hancock County public high school, who best meet the scholarship criteria. And here in Hancock County, the primary criterion is community service. This year, because one of the scholarship finalists is the child of a CFHC board volunteer, the 8 finalists were invited by a third-party community identified by CFHC. All of those individuals adhere to a strict conflict of interest policy and reside out of the county. They then have the incredibly difficult task to select 2 students to move forward to submit recommendations to the independent colleges of Indiana. And those 2 recipients will be announced in December. So Isabel and Heidi, I'd like to present this to you on behalf of the Community Foundation, and I will turn it over to Mr. Goltz to say a little bit about you two.
All right, I'm going to keep it really brief. Do you guys have a letter to read too? Okay. So I don't steal your thunder. But one of the things I love about being the principal of Palestine High School is that students like these 2, like Heidi and Isabel, they set the example for the rest of our student body. You can find Isabel in the mornings, aren't you, with the essential skills class? Right? In the afternoons, Heidi is in the community service class. You see her leaving. I think today with Mr. Burke, she was going to find Christmas trees somewhere around the auditorium area, right? Yes. Yeah. They have a long list of things they do for others, along with being incredible academic students. We're all very proud. They have fantastic families, which they're all here. So they have great parents, grandparents. And I think we may all know this, but I'm just going to announce it, that these 2 are first cousins. All family out there, they know each other really well. But we have just fantastic. They're athletes. They are in band, marching band, concert band, so they have incredibly busy schedules. But in between all of that stuff, they do things for others, which is absolutely, I'm kind of getting goosebumps, because 2 of these girls are absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's what I have to say. But I would like, if you have 15 minutes to get your cross country, right? But they're both, don't mind, they're both going to tell us a little bit about one project that they're really, really proud of. So who wants to start?
Okay. Before I say anything about my favorite project, I need to thank all my teachers and the members in the community who have helped show me great examples of community service. But my favorite project that I've done is I've helped plan a 5K at my church last spring. It was a 5K to raise funds for our youth to go to New Orleans for a national youth trip where we would learn about service and experience some of service. So it was really great to put that on and help us get to New Orleans. And then I'm in my service learning class, I've taken on the legacy project of the Giving Trees. And so just to kind of get that started, I would like you all to keep an eye out for the flyers and the trees that are set up around our schools and in the community.
One of my favorite and what I'm most proud of is during the summer I help and volunteer at a theater group in Greenfield called Hancock County Children's Theater, where all kids throughout Hancock County can be in a play, and it's put on in 1 month. It's this whole student-run production, so lights, sound, acting, all put on by students, and it was something I was a part of in grade school for 4 years. and I had the privilege to make a lot of cool connections with staff from across the county and friends and students from across different schools that I probably wouldn't have met otherwise. And then I volunteer throughout the summer. I'm the assistant choreographer for that group, helping students learn dances and really get to mentor them while keeping on a busy schedule of going to swim practice beforehand and going to marching in after. Just giving that my time to that has been really fun.
Excellent, thank you for sharing, and congratulations to you. Mrs. Wu is going to present a letter to you this evening from our board.
Yeah, it's a real honor for me too, girls, because I've got chills because I have seen you girls grow up, and I'm so proud of you, and I wish you both the best. I know you're both very worthy of the award. Dear Heidi and Isabel, the New Palestine Community Schools Board of Trustees congratulates you on your amazing academic success. Your dedication, hard work, and exceptional commitment to your education and to service in the community have truly paid off. With great pride, we recognize you as one of 8 Hancock County Lilly Scholarship finalists each. This recognition is a reflection of your incredible work at New Palestine High School and your efforts to serve our community. Your selection as one of the finalists from each of Indiana's 92 counties is a remarkable accomplishment. Finalists were selected for a coveted 147 scholarships to be awarded later this school year. This is an outstanding achievement. We're grateful for your commitments to achieving academic excellence in our classrooms every day. Congratulations on your recognition as a Lilly Scholarship finalist, each of you. We're New Pal proud of you. Good luck for the rest of the 25-26 school year. We wish you the very best in the next steps of your exceptional and unique journeys. Thank you, ladies.
Congratulations. One of these two, yes, congratulations. One of these. We're gonna get a picture.
All right, next on our agenda, we have the 2025 IREAD assessment with Mr. Smith.
Awesome. And if I can invite the 3 elementary principals to come on up and join me. I know you've got some other friends here, but I'll start with the 3 of you. Would you rather just stand? Is that all right? All right, we'll just all stand together. All right.
We didn't actually.
Yeah. So it is my pleasure, board, to bring in front of you 3 amazing leaders, and I know that there is a fair representation of their staff members here as well. But this evening we're here to recognize them for some outstanding performance for both them as leaders and also their staff members. So these principals have led their schools to remarkable success, not only through strong instructional leadership, but also with their staff members' tireless commitment to their students. But also, through all of this, they have had a spirit of collaboration and shared purpose, all tied around literacy, specifically early childhood literacy. During this time, the 3 of our elementary schools have exceeded the state's literacy benchmark for 3rd grade. This extraordinary achievement speaks to their focus on early literacy, teamwork, and excellence. Together, they embody with their staff members what it means to lead and serve with heart, purpose, and partnership. It is my privilege to stand here beside them to celebrate these accomplishments And just to put them in perspective for you, the state average on iRead and early literacy to get across that threshold, the state average was 87.3%. And these leaders achieved 97.2% at Brandywine Elementary, 95.7% at New Palestine Elementary, and 95.8% at Sugar Creek. So I am very proud and honored to bring them in front of you today to recognize their leadership as well as the amazing accomplishments of their staff.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I have a letter that I'm going to present to you all, if that's all right. Dear principals and staff at Brandywine Elementary, New Palestine Elementary, and Sugar Creek Elementary, on behalf of the New Palestine Community Schools Board of Trustees, we are honored to recognize each of you for your exceptional dedication and the remarkable literacy achievements at your school. This year, all three elementary schools, Brandywine Elementary, New Palestine Elementary, and Sugar Creek Elementary, surpassed the state's 95% literacy benchmark for third grade as measured by the iRead assessment. The Indiana Department of Education's literacy benchmark represents an essential measure of how students are developing foundational reading skills. This incredible accomplishment is the result of the collective commitment, expertise, and passion demonstrated by every teacher, support staff member, and administrator who contributes to student learning. Thank you for the energy, passion, and purpose you bring to your students every day. Your leadership and teamwork continues to inspire students and colleagues alike and serves as a model for excellence at New Palestine Community Schools. Come on, amazing teachers.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure that that's not like a competitive thing going on here. Great job. I'm sure you have one out here. Take a break. You get out. Every time you come up. Great job.
Teachers in the middle, and then the outside, just the board.
Great job.
One big group photo!
Administrators on the outside, then our board can sneak in as well. Find a window, that's going to be the most important.
Here we are.
Jump over.
Sure.
Okay, got a balance?
Yeah, we gotta balance this photo out.
Okay, I've got to see everybody smile, so find your windows. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, big smiles, here we go. Excellent.
We'll just give everybody a few minutes to clear out.
Yeah.
That's probably been out loud. It's probably been Okay, well, we now have a significantly smaller audience, but that was really fun. That was a lot of great things to be celebrating. So, moving on with our agenda, we have approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion on the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments on agenda items. Do we have any this evening?
We do not.
Thank you. Next, we have consideration of routine business. First, under that title is approval of the minutes. We will be approving regular meeting minutes dated October 27th, 2025. Could I have a motion on the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the personnel report. We will be approving the personnel report dated November 10th, 2025. Could I have a motion on the report, please?
Motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is claims and finances. We will be approving payroll claims dated October 24th, 2025. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve claims and finances as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next, we have donations. Mrs. Gizzi.
Good evening. First donation we have tonight is from Jason Growlick, and that's the amount of $500 for the NPHS robotics program. The second donation is from John Lang of Salesforce in the amount of $105, and that donation will go toward the donation fund for an upcoming daycare food catering invoice. And our third and final donation for this meeting is for the NPHS photography group, and they're receiving $820 in honor of Hayden Ramsey, and that's from the Community Foundation of Hancock County. And we're asking board approval at this time.
Could I have a motion on donations?
Motion to approve the donations as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Next, we have a line of field trips that we're going to talk about. We're going to start with Mr. Bowles and Mr. Carney in the Varsity Winter Guard field trip.
Hello.
You guys all know John.
Let's go.
I'm Mr. Carney.
John's gonna take it from here. I'm here for moral support.
Love that.
Fair.
So we've made a request to go to, I believe this one is the Dayton trip, is that correct?
World
Okay.
Championships.
And this is the same trip that we've made for now, I believe, the last 40 years. Just wanting to continue that tradition of hopefully continuing to improve that event.
Okay, could I have a motion on the Varsity Winter Guard field trip, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the varsity Winter Guard field trip as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Good luck.
So just one question on do we get the transportation all figured out, or are we gonna figure that out?
It is still pending. I have 5 quotes in hand from charter bus companies and have been in contact with Dr. Pleat. We're going to continue that conversation and get something figured out for them.
Perfect, great.
That's great. Thank you. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Carney. Appreciate it.
Now I have the color guard overnight trip as well, or the overnight.
Sorry, I
No,
was
you're okay.
jumping into the sports. Okay.
We'll say it's okay. It's
Color guard is a sport too. All right. Let's hear about your color guard field trip.
This one is just an overnight at the high school. It requires approval from the board as well. It is 2 12-hour rehearsal days. They do some team building and such afterwards. The request for overnight is simply for the students' safety and well-being, in case you have some perhaps inclement weather overnight, and just to make sure that everybody is here and able to be a part of that full event.
Thank you. motion on the color guard overnight?
Motion to approve the color guard field trip as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
So there are teachers staying, or who are the adults? I thought that was a little unclear.
We do have, so we have 4, I believe, adults that will stay overnight. One is a certified teacher, not in our district. Our color guard director is a certified teacher in Franklin Central Schools, but goes through our full training as well.
Right.
And then 3 of his staff members will be here as well. We have separate quarters for those staff members, and then our students have a sleeping area as well. And then our staff sleeps between them and the rest of the building, essentially. So just to make sure that all those bases are covered.
And are there boys in this group?
There are not this year,
This is all girls.
correct.
Okay.
If there were, we would have separate
You just
quarters
had
for
a
them.
few- And where do they sleep? I guess I just, it
Um,
doesn't sound fun to stay at the school to sleep, so.
They bring in air mattresses, and so they will likely, because of the automatic light situation in most of the building, they will likely be in the auditorium on the stage. And then our staff would be in the auditorium lobby itself or in a similar area. We try not to use the academic area of the building at all for that sort of thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not trying to nitpick, just curious how that works. Is this the first time you've done this?
No, I think 2019 was the first year that we did it, I think. So
And that's 2 long days in a row.
it is. It is. They stage most of their show that day, just so that they can be prepared for their season, and that gives them the rest of winter break off.
You just get a lot done.
Yep.
Sounds like a fun team building time too.
We hope so.
I'm
As long as everybody eats well and drinks water.
Right,
You know?
right. Gets a little sleep maybe. Okay, any additional comments or questions?
I have a question, or a comment really. I just wanted to say, I loved your halftime, your performances at the football games this year. I really enjoyed watching it. I was in the trunk or treat thing that we had here recently. I know that that's all set up and led by your group, and I thought that was just a great time.
Thank you.
So, well done on all that. And I really enjoyed the pep band too during the football game last Friday night. It was
We had a blast.
Added to the atmosphere for sure. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you still need to vote. Let's hold a vote. Everyone in favor of the color guard overnight field trip indicate by saying yes.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Kern.
Thanks.
And Mr. Bowles.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Murphy, you're up. Now, Mr. Bowles, you're not listed on my sheet, so you don't have to stay for moral support.
I'm gonna stay for moral support.
Okay. Comfortably, I'm sure Mr. Murphy will appreciate.
I really appreciate the moral support.
After that performance, that day was ready.
Wow.
Can't believe it wasn't me.
Oops.
Okay, first up, you're gonna talk to us about the varsity and game day competition cheer teams.
So our varsity and game day cheer team would like to travel to Orlando to compete in the nationals. There's a 3-day competition. There's kind of a day of travel on each side of it. And I apologize for some dates being shifted around there, but they would get there on a Thursday evening, check in, practice, and then compete the next 3 days, and then leave on the last day. They'd taken the trip years ago, went out on a hiatus, and then took the trip for the first time again 2 years ago. Last year did not, and they are requesting permission to go this year, pending qualification in the regional, which is in a week and a half.
Could I have a motion on the field trip, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the field trip as presented. Varsity and game day competition cheer team as presented.
Second. Yep.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, just a couple of questions. So you're not gonna fly 3 separate airplanes, are you?
If we are, things really didn't work out in the reservations. They will wait to qualify before they make those exact
Okay.
reservations, but no, that's not.
That's,
I think they'll just price check the 3.
yeah, so they'll just see which one's the cheapest one, yeah. Okay, and then, so the date changes.
Thank you. No, thank you for clarifying. the
Yeah,
dates
thanks
on
for
that.
clarifying.
Okay. Any additional comments or questions?
How did it do it? That's great.
How many kids will go on this potentially?
It's a fair question. It's around 20. I don't know the exact number.
Okay.
And
That's quite a large group, yeah.
Yeah. funny, I haven't counted them. I've seen pictures of them
There's a
in
lot.
different competitions.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Okay.
All right, any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next, we're gonna hear about the NPHS boys wrestling team field trip.
Yeah, we've got two of them here. The first one is, and both of them are over Christmas break. The first one is to travel to Mater Dei. It's a 2-day tournament. When we do these, it's similar to what we've done in the past where they don't have to stay, but it's a 2.5-hour drive plus. Traveling there and back is a 2-day tournament. So they're gonna get up pretty early the first day and drive down, wrestle one day, spend the night hopefully, and then wrestle the next day and travel back. And so that's why they're requesting the overnight trip.
Okay, I have a motion on the boys wrestling team Mater Dei field trip.
Motion to approve the Mater Dei field trip.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. All right, and your second wrestling team field trip.
Second one, very similar, but it is a 1-day, but they're gonna go the night before, so they're gonna have to Mishawaka and Penn. First one to wrestle some of the best competition in the southern part of the state. This one to wrestle the best competition in the northern part of the state. And they would get up, travel in the afternoon, check in, and then work out a little bit, and then wrestle all day the next day and come back. So they were requesting the overnight. They would take mini buses up to a couple coaches each time.
Could I have a motion on the boys wrestling team field trip to Penn High?
Motion to approve the New Palestine High School boys wrestling team to the north half of the state, as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I believe both of them are in different time zones, right? So they're in both schools. So you lose an hour going up there, so it's another reason for going up there early. So this is great. Great competition.
All right, any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. And finally, we have the NPHS varsity boys basketball team field trip.
Yeah, there's a field trip to go to Lawrenceburg. They've hosted this tournament. I think it's their third year to do it, and we've been in all both years, and this will be the third one. It's been great for our guys. They ended up playing 4 games in 2 days, which sounds crazy, but it is a lot of fun for them. It's team building. It's good competition from the southern part of the state, and when you play that many games in a short amount of time, it frees up other parts of the schedule to kind of get a few more practices in and rest and legs. So it's really been good for them, and the same thing they are requesting for approval.
All right, could I have a motion on the varsity boys basketball team field trip?
I'll make a motion to approve the varsity boys basketball team trip as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Does the outcomes of those games count to their season record? Is that, yeah?
And counts towards the number of games the IHSA allows in the playoffs. So, and they've done really well down there. I think they've been 3-1 both years and kind of beat really good teams.
Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Thank you, Mr. Bowles. We always appreciate your moral support.
We always do.
I'll find out how many cheerleaders that is.
I
I failed. Yeah, I was like,
Okay, moving on to new business. We are going to hear from Dr. Klink about the 2026 board meeting dates.
In your board packet, we uploaded the 2026 board meeting dates for your seeking approval. Sarah and I have now fully worked together 1 complete calendar year and gone through the process of how it's all gone. And we believe we can eliminate a few meetings that we've typically done. So what we're requesting in front of you is 1 meeting a month except for October, and we mainly need that second one due to the ratification of the teacher contract. So, but it's eliminated a little bit. Most are the second Tuesday of the month. There are a few that are the second Monday of the month, and there are a few that are the first. But really the great thing is it's just helping reduce the amount of meetings, but that just means we might, in those meetings, have a lot of stuff to cover. So, yeah, so I'm requesting approval at this time for these to be the 2026 board meeting dates.
Okay, could I have a motion, please?
Motion
Make a
to
motion.
approve. Oh, go ahead. No.
Motion to approve the 2026 board meeting dates as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
I just want to say thanks for making some of the adjustments to this list. I appreciate that. And just as something that I noticed that we're not visiting the other schools now, but, and then mostly that is because of the online equipment and movement and stuff. So that's why we're not do that.
Yes, so all of our meetings are scheduled to be held in this boardroom, and thank you for streamlining our board meetings. You know, it's helpful to everyone, I think.
If there's ever a need to move our board meeting for any reason, the community room at the high school is designated as our second location.
For more space.
All right, any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Blake. Thank you. Next, we have new course recommendations with Mr. Mitchell.
Just a few.
Just a couple.
All right, well, good evening. So it kind of seems like this time last year, the curriculum team was in front of you kind of for the same reason, asking for board approval for new courses. And so here we go again. And so what we're asking for tonight is approval for some new courses, the bulk of which have to do with the new Indiana diploma. And so I want to take some time to kind of explain the reasoning behind some of the requests and how that fits into the new diploma and kind of why we came up with this list. And so this was in conjunction with teachers and administrators, and then also just making sure that everything fit into the new diploma as well. So the first couple of courses, or the first group of courses, were some math courses. So that is Algebra 1 Lab, Business Math, and Technical Math. And the reason why we are asking for approval of these courses is in the new diploma, every single student is required to take Algebra 1. And there's no caveat to that, there's no exception to that, there's no, well, you can take this in replacement of that. It's every single student is taking Algebra 1. And so traditionally, when we have students that need the most interventions for math, we would have them with special ed or administrator or counselor recommendation into an integrated math track, where they would take integrated math for 3 years, integrated math 1 and 2 and then 3. And that was a combination of algebra skills, geometry skills, algebra 2 skills. With the new diploma, the state released a companion document, and those courses no longer count as math courses for the new diploma. They are now only elective courses. So the students that were traditionally in those smaller courses with typically a teacher and a co-teacher that need those interventions, they're no longer going to count and be able to be taken for math credits. And so doing some research and looking into what options we have that would count and what is other schools are doing around the state, we looked at these 3 courses. Algebra 1 Lab specifically being a class that's taken concurrently with Algebra 1. We have a math lab course that was already approved, but this course specifically is Algebra 1 focused. So students would be able to take this to get Algebra 1 interventions and helps and supports to get that credit, since there is no caveat to that requirement. It's if you want this diploma, you're getting that Algebra 1 credit. And so this is meant for students to be able to take and get that additional support while they're in Algebra 1. And then they would move on to Business Math and Technical Math, which are 2 real-world application courses that have to do with implementing math in real-world scenarios with finance and business, interest rates, things like that, work-related situations. They're very project-based in trying to apply math concepts to real world. And so there's other schools that are I've talked to in some circles, some curriculum circles that are doing this as well. And we met with the math department, the special ed department, to get their input as well. And we all kind of came to the conclusion that we thought that this would fit the bill for those students that really need those math interventions and that math support. And they do, on the companion document, we confirm they do meet the math requirements for the new diploma. So they need those credits that are required. So that's what those 3 courses are for math.
Can I ask you a question
Absolutely.
real quick before you move on to the next set?
Absolutely.
So the 8th graders will be required, all be required to have the incoming freshmen next year will all be required to have Algebra 1?
Our current freshmen, actually.
Oh, our current freshmen,
Mhm.
okay. So, do we still have students taking integrated math from before?
We will, yes. And so
Okay.
they're still under the old diploma
Right.
rules, yeah. And
So that'll still be off.
correct. So
For
we'll
a
kind of
period time.
phase that out. So our students that are in integrated 2 right now, for instance, as sophomores, will be able to take integrated 3 next year to get that required because they'll still be under the old diploma. Then they'll be phased out. So only integrated 3 will be offered next year, but then we'll have the business math, and then once that integrated 3 rolls off, then we introduce the technical math as an option.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Does anybody else have any questions about math?
So then does that mean that the teacher that's teaching integrated math now will be teaching the Algebra 1 lab, or is that how's the staffing gonna work?
Sure. So the Algebra 1 lab could be a math teacher. It could be a special education teacher, like a basic skills course. It could be anything. And then the integrated math teachers could potentially be the ones that teach, the other classes as well. It kind of just depends on scheduling and who wants to teach what. Any math teacher can teach it though, those courses. So it kind of like every year when we build the schedule and we look at who's teaching what, we'll just have the capacity to do that because the integrated courses are falling off. Yeah, exactly.
So it'll free up some staff because those are falling off.
Exactly. So we wouldn't need additional staff for the courses because we'll have that capacity with our current staff.
Thank you. Any other questions about math? All right, thank you.
I think that the wording is a little confusing because you could get like having a chemistry class and you have your lab at a different time. So clarify that piece. It's not Algebra 1 and you're required to take a lab because you were integrated. Is that what it is? It's
No, I guess I can clarify that. I'm sorry. So it would be a second class.
It is.
It is a second class. Yeah. So it's 2 periods today. 1 period being Algebra 1, the other period being Algebra 1 lab, which is strictly the supports working with the TORs or working with the math teachers and a TOR, a teacher service to provide those interventions and supports. It's not also it's like kind of like the integrated math classes. It's not free sign up for that course. It's administrative recommendation.
It's not self-selected.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It's math, recommendation, counselor recommendation. We'll be in a lot of communication with 8th grade, staff as well to kind of see who we feel like is going to need those supports because, we have that other pathway with the old diploma for those students that really need that small group math and intervention. And as it stands now, we just don't have that caveat with Algebra 1.
And so they'll have something that takes the place of another space in their where they could have taken other classes, now they're taking 2 maths. So it seems like a disadvantage to them that they would be not have as much time in their class schedule to take other classes.
Yeah, we also think about students who have basic skills, for instance, where they're able to do that and get help and support. It could be integrated in with that as well. Because this is for the students that just really need those interventions, and it'll be done in collaboration with the student as well, and with the parent and things like that. Who's they're going to have ultimate say in all of that. With that, it's not going to be done blindly, but unfortunately, it is a second course. Yeah.
Take that for them.
So the lab you won't let
It's
anybody-
essential. Yeah. Here we are.
So the lab you won't let anybody. What about the other 2 classes? Are they strictly recommended as well? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how about the next chunk of classes?
Awesome. So these were our ELA courses, and so this came about because in the new diploma requirements there is the same number of ELA credits, but one of them has to be designated what's called a communications focused course. And so last year when the new diploma rule was passed, we were kind of waiting for some guidance to see what qualified as a communications course and everything. So we waited to get that list from the state, which we got in their companion document. And then we met with the high school, the department chair in English, who shared information with the department, see what kind of teacher interest there would be. Because right now we do offer some of the communications courses on that list, but it's student media, so newspaper, yearbook, and speech. And so the idea was we wanted to give students more options for communications courses. And so When we met with Kent Gish, the English department chair, team leader, he met with his department to see what kind of interest there would be. He shared the list of the communications courses. They shared back with some of the things they'd be interested in. They shared quite a few back. We then had to cross-reference them though with licensing, who could teach what based off of what license they had. And so with that, that's where these 3 courses came to be. So we have digital media, journalism, and technical communication. And so these will all count for that communication, and so they'll be offered in addition to the student media and the speech courses and the advanced speech courses. So it's really just about giving students additional opportunities or choices with their communications course. Now, kind of like any other course, it's what runs is going to be based off of student interest and everything when scheduling starts to occur. But this allows us to just offer more than just, well, you got to take speech or you got to take newspaper, or yearbook. And so which already are classes that are not limited per se, but there's so much room in that with their schedule. And so this just allows additional options. And so digital media has to do with like multimedia, storytelling, being knowledgeable consumers, really like the law and the ethics behind digital media consumption and creation and production, which I think nowadays is pretty important with digital, everything going digital and things like that. The journalism class, I wanted to make sure to point out that this was actually a course that is not, it's not student media, it's not the newspaper course, it's not the yearbook course, it's kind of an intro to journalistic writing course. And so the news, editorials, reviews, columns, things like that. So really kind of that introduction into journalistic media for that. And then technical writing, I thought was an interesting course, and there was definitely some interest in this because it's about tailoring your writing to a specific audience. And so the skills that you need to know who your audience is and being able to write technically to that audience. So whether it's what type of research you need to do, the style that you're writing in, whether it's a manual that you're writing, an essay, persuasive, whatever it is, it's about studying the audience that you're writing to, and then the conventions and the styles for that audience specifically. So that is those 3 courses for communications.
Thank you. The English major in me loves all of that.
Great.
That sounds great.
The science person in me.
All right, any questions about the English courses?
Yeah, so you don't know if they're going to be semester courses or year-long courses? Because it said 1 or 2.
Correct. And so it kind of depends on student interest. They can be 1 or 2 semesters. So it's not a course that you have to sign up for the whole year. And so it's just 1 communications credit that's required for it. So a student, let's say if we have enough interest where the student wants to take it all year and count it as communications and then count that second semester as an ELA credit, they can do that. Or they can just take 1 semester of it and then go back to English 10 and take that. Because like English 10, English 9 you have to take, that's actually written specifically in the new diploma, and so that's not an option. But English 10, English 11, English 12, those are also classes you don't have to take the whole year. You can take it 1 semester at a time. And so it kind of depends just on student interest if they want to take it for 1 whole year or if they want to take it 1 semester.
So it'll be offered as an entire year.
Correct, but they can just take it if they say they want to just do 1 semester. They can do that to meet their communications requirement and then go take, they can take English 10 first semester and then journalism second semester, switch that, take it all year.
Because typically we have like English 10A and 10B for the identified semester classes. Is that the way this is going to be?
Correct.
These are going to be that way as well. So you'll have digital media A and digital media B.
Right.
Okay.
And you can take, again though, you can take it 1 semester, you can take it 2
Right.
semesters.
Okay.
It's just, yeah. They kind of let you jump in halfway. It's just because the semesters are just.
There's actually 6 courses here. Because there's
I guess, yeah.
6 semester courses.
So, correct.
As you would see it in the curriculum guide.
Correct.
These 6 courses.
Correct.
Any other questions about the English courses? Okay, what's next?
Great. The next one is for the enlistment seal. This is course 3524, Introduction to Public Service. And so this one was pretty self-explanatory in that we needed to offer it because it was very clearly defined in the new diploma in that students that are interested in the enlistment seal that they need this course. And so looking into the course, it's a 1-semester course. It's pretty defined. They've released the standards for it already as well. There's 8 main units to the course that are very well defined. So for instance, like introduction to career paths in public service, historical context, significance of public service, ethical behavior and decision making, developing leadership skills, personal and professional development, community impact, and military customs and currencies. So I think it sounds like a good course to learn about and everything. So, but it's very clearly defined in that seal, in the honors seal for enlistment, that's one of the requirements for it. And so, and it's a pretty wide range of teaching licenses that can teach it: it's social studies, FACS, CTE, health, PE. There's a wide range of teaching licenses that can teach it.
So will you just have a minimum number of students to actually host the course?
So I would think that this course would need to run regardless, to be honest, because if we have, our goal is for a student to graduate, with a seal. And so, for a multitude of reasons, but, if a student is interested in enlistment, let's set them up for success, And so, to me, and maybe it doesn't run 1 semester, but it runs the next, or maybe it doesn't run 1 year, but it runs the next, or things like that. So, there'll be that kind of conversation that has to take place with the school. But essentially, we need to be able to offer it for our students so they can get that seal. So, because we want to make these seals as attainable, any of them for any student as attainable as possible. So
that's great.
Well, it looked like this was the only one that was new curriculum, right?
In terms of, so like a brand new, complete new course. In what way? I'm sorry.
Well, it looked like in your notes that you said we have curriculum that would work for the first 3 maths, and then we have curriculum that would work for all the communications, and this would be the only one that would be new to
It would,
our
yes.
teachers.
Then yes, in that sense, yes,
Okay.
it would be. Yeah. So yeah, because there's a lot of other resources that can be used for those courses. Yeah, it's kind of its own department almost, kind of like it's like an ROTC department kind of thing. It's its own department. So essentially, yeah, it would be. So and obviously we have to support the teacher and things, which we would for sure.
Yeah, it was going to be one of my questions was, and you answered it, was it can have a wide range of licensures to teach that class, right? It's not very specific, because when I read it, I was like, oh, man, I'm going to get that done.
Yeah.
And that's good to know that there's a wide range of people that can teach it based on license. So.
And that's one thing that I appreciate from the DOE is there's been some flexibility with
That's
licensing with some of the new courses and things like that. So as we roll this new diploma out over the next few years.
All right, any other questions about the public service course? Okay.
Here are the fun ones.
Yeah, the last 2. These
Aha.
are exciting.
Yes. So the last 2 aren't specifically new diploma related, in a sense, but kind of. And so when it comes to the employment seal. And so in meeting over the last couple of several months with the building trades departments, the high school. We were talking with the opening of Hancock County Career Center, knowing that what options are going to be available there. We started a conversation of, with carpentry being offered there, is that something we want to duplicate here and have with us, or is that something that we want to say, okay, Hancock County Career Center can and have that, and maybe we can look at another pathway that could potentially be offered to expand our pathway offerings to students. And so in conversations with those departments, or with those teachers in that department, we were looking at, okay, so we have principles of building trades, and so what pathways can go off of that? And so we looked at that, and honestly, this is the one that jumped out pretty quickly with that, and for a couple of reasons. We saw a pretty big need from the state, and so in here it talks a little bit about it, but I wanted to get some statistics for you. From the Bureau of Labor Statistics, actually, there are currently almost 7,000 job openings for heavy and tractor trailer truck driving operators, and so there's a need. We looked at our students' interest because, so I think there was we shared with you a few weeks ago about the Golden Shovel competition that our students participated in, and that has grown significantly. It started with 2 teams, I think, competing in it for the first time 4 years ago, and now it's up to 14 teams, and it's just gonna keep increasing. So there's clearly an interest in working with heavy equipment. And then the last thing is we can teach it, and so we have the ability to teach that course even with our current equipment. And so, because I know it's kind of, you think heavy equipment, oh, we've got to go buy all this super heavy equipment to be able to teach this course. And while, yes, that would be great, it's not required. And the reason why it's not necessarily required right now is we have some partnerships we're looking at with potential businesses. It can also be taught with our current equipment from a theory-based perspective for now until we can, we're going to look at grants, we're going to look at partnerships to get funding to potentially either rent equipment or purchase it. And so I chatted with another school that offers this pathway in Park Heritage, so with Eastern Indiana. And so they said it's just exploded. Like their interest for it and everything. And so they at first just rented equipment and used it for a week or two on site from partners and from organizations. To eventually they got grants and were able to get it and basically create a pipeline of workers for those partners. And so so the idea was to create an additional pathway. So still have carpentry at the Career Center and then be able to offer this as an additional pathway. So what these two courses are the two concentrated courses for after the principal's courses, so Concentrator A and Concentrator B.
Well, as a construction major, these really, like an English major, these are. No, I would say, just a comment that, to your point, there are a lot of employers that are looking for this type of thing, and it's needed right now, and I commend Mr. Tarpley and everybody that's already doing that, and I think this is another great avenue for our students, so thank you.
When you say heavy equipment, I think bulldozers, excavators.
Yes, correct. That's it.
And so my next question is, can a board member get involved with that? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Volunteer some time in the class.
Wouldn't want to drive it.
Yeah. I'll bring a backhoe if that helps.
Any other questions about the heavy equipment courses? All right, does anyone, well, I guess I'll start with, can I have a motion on the new course recommendations, please?
Motion to approve the course recommendations as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any additional comments or questions for Mr. Mitchell? We've really asked a lot of things tonight, so thank you
Absolutely.
for being able to answer all of our questions.
Happy to do so.
Okay, any other comments, questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of approving the new course recommendations for 2026-2027 indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all your work on that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is reports, and we are going to have an enrollment update with Mrs. Gisby.
I couldn't stay away. It's almost a night without me, but not so lucky. Okay.
Not be a board meeting without you.
No,
Yes.
I know, I apologize for that.
Right?
Well, so each year we have this enrollment update. I do think this year we talked a lot about enrollment as we got closer to our count day with all of our funding conversations. I think we were more informed this year, informally probably, than we have been in the past. We started monitoring the the enrollment really closely this summer as we get closer to school starting for staffing reasons, obviously for our funding for our average daily membership. As we get closer to October 1st, we're looking for that for our money, for our budget. As you know, we are down 51 kids this year, which it's a hit for us financially. Luckily, we have great people and leadership in place, and we had already made some great staffing decisions that definitely helped that work out for us in our favor. So as you can see, we just have our 25-26 enrollment by grade, by school building. I love these two charts. Shelby helps us get this together. Brubeck, because she's our school enrollment specialist, and we spend a lot of time with this. So just great graphics there for you to look at. It's a lot of hard work for our registrars in August and September to get all of the student data sorted out. High school is especially challenging to make sure which kids we have here or not here. It comes down to a few kids towards the end that we're trying to track down and make sure that we have the kids that we think we have. It's harder than you would probably imagine. So just kudos to everybody in the buildings who get us this information. Once we start the budget process, we can't do a lot to change it after the fact, but we did know it was coming. So that really helps us out with our decision making. As you can see there, we have a decline in enrollment for a while, so we're waiting to see if this is going to be a trend or if this is just a blip. And we're hoping for a blip. So we want to keep that steady growth going. That's just all I have, really, just a quick update. If you have any questions for me once you saw this information displayed in this way, or anything specific that jumped out at you.
One of the positives I was told a long time ago, right? You look at your kindergarten enrollment, right? Because you got to live with that for the next 12 years. And 251, that's the third highest in the last 10 years, right? So that's nice to see that our kindergarten enrollment is up over the last 10 years, right? It's the third highest. And every time we've had, of those other two that are the higher than the 251, we've always had an increase in numbers the next year. So,
Brian, that's fascinating that you looked at the data that way, because I did not look at the data that way. I was
that's what I was always told, is look
our
at your
current
kindergarten
seniors, our exiting
Yes.
students versus our incoming kindergartners. I was only looking at it that way. So thank you for sharing that.
because you got to live with that number for 12 years.
Right.
But two, we are graduating a lot of seniors this year, so that is
Right.
another thing to take into consideration.
Sarah, so if you have, my understanding of how this works, and when you come to the hard count day and you put that, this is the number, right? You work your tail off to get that number. If somebody were to bring in 10, kids the next day, that doesn't count. Whatever is there the day of the count day is
That's
it.
the other school.
So when does the next, is it a
February.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you that. So the
And
next
then they take out the
recount,
midterm grads, we get some
Gotcha.
funding for those kids. And, yeah.
so you do it all over.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This one is the big one though. February is also important, but this is the really big
Yeah.
one. So,
But it's hard to wrap your head
I
around
know.
the fact that you could get 5 families move in tomorrow and you don't get $1.
It's very
for that.
difficult,
So,
yeah. Now, the flip side happens too. We could get a student move in the day before the count day. We like those.
Like a flawed system.
So, yeah.
It seems really inaccurate.
And this is your enrollment that we go off of for
Yeah.
a very long time, and it's different, each day it's different. So it's a snapshot, but that controls a lot of funding, and it's a lot of weight on that one snapshot. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Just seems like it would be a much more modern, accurate way to distribute funds. I know I'm talking crazy here. but-
Now you're being logical.
Yeah.
Where's that logic again? Come on now.
Does anyone have any additional questions
Just-
for Mrs. Gizzi?
Thank you for putting the numbers together. It's always interesting to see. I enjoy seeing that, and it's nice to see that we still have a lot of kids coming in kindergarten and want to stay in our schools. So that's nice.
It's a good snapshot too, as people talk about all of this growth and
Yes.
how it's
Yeah.
exploding, and to have that number and to have the history of that and say,
It's been pretty steady.
Yeah, we've been, exactly. Yes, thank
We're
you.
fascinated.
Thank you, Mrs. Gizzi.
Thank you.
So we have no action, that was a report only. Next on the agenda is informal comments. Do we have any informal comments this evening? We do. Thank you. Board member comments. Mr. McKinney.
Yeah, just a couple things. So, we highlighted philanthropy, and I think that's, we always talk about things that kids learn outside of the school day, and that's pretty important to be a well-rounded citizen, to understand the importance of philanthropy in your community and how you can participate. And we saw great examples of that today with two awesome ladies that, they help out our community in a multitude of ways, and they're all winners. And it's good to see that level of philanthropy in our community, and that we promote that. Secondly, I know our principals got recognized, but for the iRead and the early literacy. but they would be the first to admit it's the staff behind them that do that. And, just hats off to all of our staff that make that happen to get our kids where they need to be early on in their educational career. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Ober.
Well, to piggyback off that a little bit, I think it's great when we talk about philanthropy and giving back to the community, and to see two cousins. I know what my cousins and I were competing for. It was not scholarships, and so it's a great family. And I think, to Brian's point too, two students whose all their parents are all graduates of it just keeps building. The giving and it's part of who we are, and I commend us for celebrating it, and kudos to everybody that had their hand in making that happen and continue to make that happen. So thank you.
Thanks, John. Dan.
As the unofficial Dragon super fan, I just want to say how awesome last week was. I saw two varsity events, the girls basketball game, which was incredible. If anybody was there, that was an insane environment, and the girls won on the last second shot with 4 seconds left. It was great, spectacular. And of course, Friday night, it was just awesome. Pep band, I wanted to mention Mr. Carney because the pep band was in tune and rocking, and the place was just electric. And I was just really proud of our schools and our students and our community on Friday night. And then on last Tuesday night, I think it was the game, Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember the girls' basketball game, but was it Thursday?
Yeah,
okay, Thursday. But no, great environment, and was just really proud of all our New Palestine community.
I ditto that. I think we're giving them these incredible memories and building them into the people who they are. And tonight they're having the girls' high school soccer awards, and tomorrow night will be boys' soccer awards. And just culminating so many good things and moving into the next season. I have to nerd out a little bit. I'm so excited to see so many good writing courses. Writing is so fundamental for life and for all the work that goes ahead in their life. So kudos, good job, Nick. I know lots of work and all that. So happy to see all the other things, but that's really so foundational. It's so good to see. Yeah, and go Dragons.
Thank you, Mrs. Wooten. Mrs. Eastis.
Yes, I think we've talked about this, but just as a reminder, House Enrolled Act 1002 took away a lot of the rigid requirements for teacher evaluation. And so it's really given us a chance to reimagine what that could look like in New Palestine Community Schools. And so this past week we had an amazing committee meeting of teachers and administrators coming together just to start the conversation. We have a lot of work to do, but honoring good teaching is really exciting, so we're excited for that. That's great.
Dr. Bleak.
Before we get started, Mr. Murphy, how many were in attendance at the New Palestine game Friday evening, do you think?
4350 if the number.
I'm sure that probably broke our record for the season for our home games.
It did.
Could have combined almost combined them all. But anyway, 4350, so big game. And the reason of bringing that up, besides winning, the other part of bringing that up is just saying to pull off an event that hosts over 4,300 people in a location, I really want to thank, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I do want to specifically thank custodial, maintenance, administration, who else do we got? Our SROs, the other officers that came in to help, other staff members that helped work the event, as well as our coaches, our players, our family, our band, our cheerleaders. It was just an incredible evening just to be there, and especially when the outcome happened. But 4,300, I don't know who was left outside of the gates that night in this town. So it was incredible. And the bonfire and the fireworks added to the environment as well. So it's pretty awesome. We did not have anything to do with that. But anyway, that just takes a lot of work and a lot of preparation, and I'm sure they were getting a lot of phone calls and all of that the day of the event and trying to work it out, and so just kudos to everyone that helped with that. Let's just keep going. Just keep steamrolling ahead on Friday nights for a while. Next up, just saying tomorrow is Veterans Day, and it's just a very important time. If any one of your families or friends or community members or employees that have served in the military, just thank you for your service. It's just one of the days we should celebrate every day, but thank everyone for what they do for their commitment to our country. And then the next one, we have 9 days until our Thanksgiving break, so we all can make it, and we know it's a time to be very thankful, a time to think and reflect as we should. But Mrs. Eastis and I, we asked our staff members to nominate special teammates, and boy, have they been nominating them. I feel like we have a lot of people to celebrate before Thanksgiving, so we'll be going around cheering a lot in the next 9 days. Thank you.
Thank you. I really don't have anything further other than to say I do believe at Palestine Community Schools we have an awful lot to be thankful for. All right, on that note, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. We are